Hello students, welcome to the video tutorial of informatics practices. We are in the revision video tutorials and today we are going to discuss the second part of the topic data types and variables. In the last part of the video we have discussed about the basic fundamental properties of Python's keywords, the tokens. We have also studied about how to input a variable, how to use the print statement for getting the output of the variables. So today we are going to discuss the data types. So first thing is the definition of the data types. So the data types states the way the values of the type are stored. That means if you are using an integer type of value or a float type of value, so how these values are going to be stored, that is going to be shown with the help of this data types. So the operations that can be done on that type and the range for that type can also be implemented by using this data types. So different types of data like character, the integer, the numbers with decimals etc. can be stored in the variables. Different kinds of data require different amount of memory for storage. So that is very clear that the different data types will have a different memory storage. Okay, if a particular data type is of integer, it may take some different amount of space, and if any data type is of float, it may take some different amount of space, and so on. These different types of data can be manipulated through specific data types. So these different types of data, so if a particular data is using the float, the decimal points of values, so that they can be used by using the data type as float. If a particular variable is using the values as a form of alphabets or the characters, so they can be used by giving a data type as a string. And in the similar fashion, the different types of data are accumulated and used in different categories of the data types. Now Python offers 5 standard data types. First one is the numbers, second is the string, third is the list, fourth is the tuple, and fifth one is the dictionary. So when we are talking about the number data type, so the number data type is used to store numerical values. Whenever you are going to store some numerical values, so all that values are going to be used inside this number data type. Now Python supports 3 different types of numerical data, that is an integer value, a floating point number, and the complex numbers. So these type of data can be handled by this numerical data type, that is the number data type. First is the integer, second is the float point numbers, and third is the complex numbers. Also in addition, the booleans are a subtype of integers. So if a value is consisting of 1 or 0 type of values, so that is considered under this integer only. Though they are boolean, but they are also an integer type, so they can be sub-categorized in this integer category. Now first we are talking about the integer. So integer are whole numbers without decimal point. So it is quite clear that any whole number which is consisting of decimal as well, so they can be considered under this integer data type. Now they can be positive, they can be negative, okay, with unlimited length. For example, if we are writing a equal to 20, in this case integer contains boolean non-boolean value, that is 20, and this 20 is going to show you that a is going to have a 20 value, that is a numerical data type value. Okay. Now when we are saying that integers contain boolean type, which is a unique data type consisting of 2 constants, that is true and false. So here we can show it with the help of an example. It is given like entry is equals to true. So this entry is actually a object or the data object, and it is storing the value as true. So this entry is going to have a string data type, you can say. Okay. But the problem is here this true is not written in the form of quotes. Okay, this true is given without quotes. So this true is actually going to take a boolean value and it is going to be stored inside this entry. So you can say that entry is actually a integer value here. Why? Because boolean are the subcategory of the integers. So when you are writing entry equal to true, that means it is going to take the value as integer only. Okay. Now numbers with fractions or decimal points are called the floating point numbers. For example, k equal to 200.789. So if you are writing something like this, in this case, this k is going to store values which are having the decimals as well. Okay, so 200.789 is a floating point number. Now float can be also scientific numbers with an e to indicate the power of 10. So whenever you are going to show something with the power of 10, you will write something like this: 127.8 plus e to the power 12. Okay, that means 10 to the power 12. Okay, 89.2 minus e to the power 15, that means e to the power minus 15. So it is quite clear that we can use some values which are high in degrees as well. Now the next thing is the complex number. So a complex number is an ordered pair of two floating point numbers denoted by a plus bj. So here you are very clear with this thing that complex numbers consist of a real part and an imaginary part. So the real part is the a here. Okay, this a plus bj is actually a complex number in which this a is the real part. Okay, and bj, in this we are having the imaginary part, that is where a and b are the real numbers and j is the imaginary unit. Now for example, if we are giving something like this, x equal to 10 plus 5j, so 10 is the real part while the 5j part is the imaginary part. So overall this 10 plus 5j is a complex number, and these complex numbers are easily stored in this numerical data types. Okay. Now for accessing different parts of a variable a, we will use a real and an imaginary part. Okay, so when we are writing a dot real, that means it is going to reveal the real part, and when we are going to write a dot image, in that case it is going to reveal the imaginary part. So here you can see print x dot real comma x dot image. So the output is 10.0 and 5.0. Why? Because the question was 10 plus 5j, so 10 is the real part, so we are having 10.0, and 5j, so 5 is having the imaginary part, so that's why the imaginary part is given as 5.0. So for getting the real part, we can write x dot real, and for imaginary part we can write x dot image. Why we are using x here? Because the data type has been given a data object as x. If we would have written y equal to 10 plus 5j, so in that case we would have written print y dot real comma y dot image. Now the next thing is the boolean. So a bool type can have only two values, that is true and false, and any non-zero value is considered as a true and any non-zero value is considered as true and a zero value is considered as false. Now moving on to the strings. And a string is an ordered set of characters enclosed in single or double quotation marks. For example, str is equals to I love Python. So in this case you can see we have given I love Python in double quotes. Okay, but if we wanted, we could have given it as single quotes as well. But the thing is that whenever you are using a single quote to open something, you should use single quote to close that thing as well. But if you are using double quotes, you should use double quotes only to close it. You cannot use anything at any place. That means if you are using single quotes to open it, then you cannot close it with a double quotes. And in the similar way, if you are using the double quotes to open it. Okay, now let's continue. That is the lists part. Lists part is a collection of comma separated values or the items within square brackets. So if you want to use list, you have to use the square brackets for giving the values. So values in the list can be modified, that is, it is mutable. It is very clear to you that what is the difference between mutable and immutable data type. I have already explained in the class, but still if it is a revision video, I will let you know one simple thing, that mutable are the values which can be changed. Okay, and the immutable things are that which cannot be changed. So the list is actually a mutable data type. Why? Because its values can be changed. So the value that makes up a list are called its elements, and the element in a list need not to be of the same type. It is not necessary that whatever the elements you are using in that list, that all elements should be of similar data type. That is not a condition. Okay, you can have different data types as well. Okay, now for example, list 1 is equals to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So in this case, this 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 all are of similar data type, and it is used inside a square brackets. But when you are talking about this list 2, so list 2 is having Raman, 100, 200, 300, Ashwin. So here you can see this Raman and this Ashwin are actually the values which are having the quotes. Okay, so actually that are the string values, and this 100, 200 and 300 are actually the integer values. So the combination of integer values and the string values are used inside this list. Yes, it is possible. Why? Because the lists are mutable, as well as it supports multiple data types in a single list. Okay, so here you can say list 2 is equals to Raman, 100, 200, 300, Ashwin is a valid list. Okay, now again list 3 you are having. In this we have used different characters A, E, I, O, U, O and U. But only one thing you have to remember, that whenever you are going to give something which is in the form of a string, you have to use the quotes there, either single quotes or double quotes. Next thing is the tuple. A tuple is a sequence of comma separated values. Values in the tuple cannot be modified. That means they are immutable. Okay, the values that make up a tuple are called its elements, and the elements in the tuple need not be of the same type. Now that is not a necessary condition again, that in list also we can have the elements of different data types. In the similar way, tuples also you are having this property that you can use elements of that tuple of different data types. It is not a necessary condition that you have to use the similar data types for all the elements. Okay, so the comma separated values can be enclosed in parentheses, but parentheses are not mandatory. Okay, the parentheses are not mandatory. Now tuple 1 is equals to Sunday, Monday, 10, 20. Tuple 2 is equals to A, B, C, D, E. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, all these values are given. Okay, so this tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3 are actually the data objects, and they are storing some tuple values, and that tuple is clearly visible with the help of this parenthesis. Okay, so for the list we are having the square brackets, for the tuples we are having this parenthesis. And let's go on to the dictionary. That is our next data type. So Python dictionary is an unordered collection of items where each item is a key value pair. So whenever you are giving dictionary, each item is actually a key value pair. So we can also refer to a dictionary as mapping between a set of keys / indices and set of values. Here you can see example is given. Dict 1 equal to R rainy, S summer, W winter and A autumn. Now in this case R, S, W and A are the keys here. Okay, these are the keys of the dictionary, while everything which is following after that colon is the value for that particular key value pair. So this R is having the key, and rainy is actually the value of that key. Similarly S is the key and summer is the value of that key, and all the key value pairs are separated using a comma. So R rainy, after that you can see a comma is there. Similarly S summer, after that you can see a comma is there. So whenever we are separating the key value pairs in a dictionary, we can use a comma for separating them. And for giving the key value pairs, so it is to be written in this form. First you will mention the key, then after the colon you will write the value of that key. Okay, similarly you can see that dict 2 is created, and these the keys are the 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and the values of that corresponding keys are robotics, AR, AI and VR. Similarly dict 3 is there with two key value pairs. First num is there as the key, and the value of that key is 10. Similarly 1, 20 is there, and this 1 is the key and 20 is the value of that key. Now in Python a variable has no data type. When we say data type of a variable, we are actually referring to the data type of the value that represents it. So that is to be made very clear, that whenever we are writing any variable name, we cannot say that this variable is of this data type. So actually the data type is defined with the help of the values of that variable, that what value that variable is storing. If that variable is storing a value which is of number, so it is going to have a number data type. If it is storing some values which is in the form of a string, so it is going to have the string data type, and so on. Okay, so you cannot say a variable is having a data type. Actually the data type of the variable is defined with the help of the type of data which is it is storing. Okay, now for example it is given here num equal to 10. Then if you are writing type num, so this type is used for giving the data type. So here the answer is class int, so int is being written. But when you are writing name equal to Kapil and then you are writing type name, so this you can see that the string is being written. that means the data type is same in both the cases. Sorry, the data variable is same in both the cases, that is num. But in the first case you are seeing the data type as int, and in the second case you can see the data type as string. Why? Because it is difference in the case the values are being stored in that variables. Okay. Mutable and immutable I've already told. The mutable are those data types which can be changed. Okay, so the lists and dictionaries are the mutable data types, while the immutable data types are like int, float, decimal, bool, string, and tuple. But you cannot say string. String is mutable, so there is a problem here. You will not write string in immutable. String is actually mutable data type. You just need to correct it there. Now, variables of mutable data types can be changed after creation and assignment of values. That is quite clear to everyone. And variables of immutable data types cannot be changed or modified. Now let's go to the data type conversion. So we are having basically two types of conversion, that is the implicit and explicit conversions. So what this data type actually is resembling here, that when we are going to convert data type from one to another data type, what is the way of conversion? Okay, so the conversion can be done explicitly or implicitly. Explicitly means what? The programmer specifies the conversions, and implicitly means what? Interpreter automatically converts the data type. Okay, so these are the two types of conversion. So implicit conversion is a conversion performed by the Python interpreter without programmer's intervention, and explicit conversion is the conversion in which we are forcing an expression or identifier to be of a specific data type. So actually it is also known as the type casting. So it allows you to convert a data item of a given type to another data type. For explicit type casting, we use the functions like int x convert x to integer, float x convert to float, string x converts to string. So whatever the change you want, you just mention the data type name before that value, and that value can be changed inside that particular data type. Now example is given, x equal to 158.19. So when you are writing y equal to, so in that case if you are writing y equal to int x, so what it is happening, so first of all x is a floating value, but in the next line we have written int of x. That means now if you are going to print y, it is not going to print 158.19, but it is going to print 158. Why? Because the data type has been changed from float to integer. Okay, here you can see another example, x is 165, so basically x is showing you the integer value, but next we have written y equal to float of x, so it is going to convert into a floating data type, and when we are going to print y, so it is going to print 165.0. Why? Because the data type has been changed from integer to float value. Comments, when we are talking about the comments, so comments are non-executable statements which are ignored by the Python interpreter. It is only for the information of the programmer to understand why this particular lines of code is being used. So that set of codes are not executed by the Python interpreter, they are just ignored. Okay, and for using the comments we can use the hashtag symbol and extends till the end of the physical line. Okay, so here you can see the example is given. We have written hash, this program calculates the sum of two numbers. So this hash symbol is actually showing you that it is a comment statement. So it is not going to be interpreted by the Python interpreter. Similarly, sum of numbers 10 and 20 is also written with that hash symbol. That is also being ignored by the Python interpreter. Now for writing the multi-line comment, how we can use the multi-line comment? You can just place hashtag in front of each line, or you can use triple quoted string. So whenever you are using something with triple quotes, so actually that is a multi-line comment. Okay, like this also you can give. Okay, so I think that's enough for this part, and that has completed our topic about data types and variables. In the next part we will be discussing about another topic. So thank you everyone, we'll meet in the next video.